But let's begin with Disney star Demi Lovato, now in rehab. Natalie is back with details. Nat.
Meredith, the 18-year-old was on the international leg of her tour when she made the decision to check into a treatment facility. Well, the news has her fans wondering exactly what's wrong and how long she'll be out of the spotlight. She's a rising young star in music.
I didn't know you had a long-lost identical twin.
And on television. 18-year-old Demi Lovato is best known for her role on Camp Rock, a made-for-TV musical on the Disney Channel. Lovato stars alongside the Jonas Brothers, but according to Lovato's representative, the teen star is having some problems. For the past 3 months, she's been on tour with the Jonas Brothers. This week, performing in South America. A spokesman for Lovato says Demi left her tour early this weekend in order to seek medical treatment for emotional and physical issues she's dealt with for some time. Demi has decided to take personal responsibility for her actions and seek help. Sources close to Lovato's family say she has a long history of emotional problems, including eating disorders and cutting. The latest emotional hurdle, touring with her ex-boyfriend Joe Jonas. The two called it quits in May after dating for several months.
It's bad enough she's traveling around with Joe Jonas, her ex-boyfriend, on tour around the world, but to top it off, he brings his new girlfriend, Ashley Green, everywhere they go. It's enough to make a girl go crazy, I'm sure.
Lovato's personal life has been under the microscope. She's recently been linked to teen singing sensation Justin Bieber. Her rep wouldn't confirm a relationship. On Saturday, Lovato's Twitter page suddenly shut down, causing fans to wonder what was wrong. Sources say the tour with the Jonas Brothers, combined with ongoing emotional issues, became too overwhelming.
She has a good head on her shoulders, and she has a really good team behind her, and that's very important. So I think she'll pull out of this just fine. She just needs to get the help she needs and get out of the spotlight for a little bit.
And sources tell us Lovato is not in treatment for a drug problem, but would not be more specific. Her representative says Lovato looks forward to getting back to work in the near future. Meredith.
Natalie, thank you very much. Psychiatrist Gail Saltz is a Today contributor. Gail, good morning to you.
Good morning, Meredith.
As Natalie just reported, family sources say that Demi has a history of eating disorders and cutting. If so, what kind of treatment program would be right for her? Would you expect her to be entering?
Right. I would expect that first she'll need an evaluation to understand what is causing these symptoms. So eating symptoms and cutting symptoms can both be caused by depression, an anxiety disorder, or even something called borderline personality disorder, which is a constellation of impulsivity, mood changes, sometimes suicidal thoughts. There's sort of a whole constellation of things.
Wide-ranging, yeah.
Exactly. So depending on which diagnosis is causing this symptom, and unfortunately in teenagers, cutting is not so unusual. So either medication and or psychotherapy with it, psychotherapy being a kind of exploratory talk therapy about the stresses that she's under, or something much more structured to try to look at the thoughts and the behaviors that are going on and actually do kind of a training to stop those behaviors.
For those who don't quite understand what cutting is, very simply,
it is just that. It is mutilating things to your body. So typically what teenagers do is cut their arms or cut their body. They're often superficial scratches. They often don't draw blood, but they can. The reason that they're scary and dangerous is they can go deeper and they can, actually cut a vein or an artery or something.
Natalie mentioned that on this tour she had been dating Joe Jonas, but that they had broken up in the spring, and she was now on tour with him. Is that the sort of thing that could trigger the behavior?
Unfortunately, yes. When you've already got a person who is cutting and who has struggling with symptoms of depression and anxiety, any big emotional stressor, and let me say that certainly breaking up with your boyfriend, yes. Having their ex-girlfriend come along, or their new girlfriend come along, yes. But her life, and this is what we're seeing, Meredith, is celebrity children's lives are much more stressful than that age group really is equipped to deal with, particularly without being in a family setting all the time that provides the structure that they need. Teenagers tend to be impulsive. That's the way their brain is wired. So this combination of this kind of stress with that kind of brain, and it's not surprising that you would get these kind of symptoms.
And based on what the family have said, this certainly predates any relationship issues she might have had. Very quickly, road to recovery, long haul?
These are not short-term treatment issues. Now, inpatient, might be a shorter term to get control of what's going on and create a program that can be managed as an outpatient. But I would expect somebody like this to be in treatment for quite some time, but perhaps she can do it while she's working. I would say, as a mental health professional personally, that's a high-risk stake because you're putting them back in exactly the same situation that probably caused the symptoms in the first place.
Gail, so thank you so much for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.